is nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, aircon filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 2057 and 0960-77235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM main news. The headlines. Government observes the need to address the underlying factors that contribute to drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Mwembeshi Secondary School head teacher and deputy arrested for corrupt practices involving over 28,000 kwacha. Kenya's president withdraws a tax plan after deadly protest. This news bulletin is also streaming live on the 5FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, I'm Hebet Mutabi. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu has observed the need to address the underlying factors that contribute to drug abuse and illicit trafficking, including poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion. Speaking during the commemoration of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking today, Mr. Mwimbu says by investing in initiatives that promote economic opportunity, social inclusion, and access to essential services, the country can address the root causes of substance abuse and create a more resilient society. He notes that through comprehensive drug education programs in schools, communities, and workplaces, young people can be equipped with the tools to navigate life's challenges without turning to drugs. Mr. Mwimbu says government is committed to leading the charge in the nation's efforts to prevent drug abuse and illicit trafficking. And the Drug Enforcement Commission Director General Nason Banda says that the Commission remains steadfast in actualizing organization objectives in a collaborative, multi-sectoral, and integrated way. The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC has charged and arrested the head teacher and the deputy head teacher at Mwembeshi Boarding Secondary School for corrupt practices involving 28,720 kwacha, Petronera Kaputa 52 and Humphrey Funduluka 46, both of Mwembeshi Boarding Secondary School teachers' compound, have been charged with one count of abuse of authority of office, contrary to Section 21(1)(b) and 2 counts of fraudulently facilitating payment from the public revenue for goods are not supplied, contrary to Section 34(2)(a) as read with Section 41 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012 of the laws of Zambia. Investigations have established that Kaputa and Funduluka connived with suppliers to siphon money from the school account by purporting that the suppliers had delivered the said goods when in fact not. Further, after facilitating payments to the suppliers, Kaputa and Funduluka later collected the money for personal gratification. Details in count 1 are that Kaputa and Funduluka between 1st January 2022 and 31st December 2023 in Lusaka district did fraudulently facilitate a payment of 18,720 kwacha to Hamambo Agro Enterprises from the public revenue, namely Mwembeshi Boarding Secondary School account for beef that was not supplied. The duo have since been released on bond and will appear in court soon. This is contained in a statement issued by ACC Head of Corporate Communications, Timothy Mono. Mungulu village headman Patrick Shakalumbwe says residents are grappling with an erratic water supply as they are forced to share a shallow well with animals, posing health risks. This came to light during a site visit by Center for Environment Justice, CEJ, which is executing a resilient initiative for sustainable environment RISE project in Senazongwe and Serenje with support from Bread for the World.
Manzi tulipengede mubufu afi kuti mwananga chikale chimwe chibede tumidanto omwe angulube ampongo ang'ombe makati kuona pamwi kuba zwidda kuteka menda kuzosika wano ila kwana 1.5 kilometers kuzosika wano wachilangirwa kuli ndiswe utirazo mwana penzi eri tulangirwa kufwa kama kuti aso monanga wafwa fumako twachiswa chamba kufwa.
And CEJ Executive Director Maggie Mwape assured that her organization is collaborating with other stakeholders to find a solution to this pressing issue. Ms. Mwape emphasized that the government has reallocated resources from the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to address climate change effects, including drought. Ms. Mwape appealed to the development sector, including the donor community, to support the government's efforts in enhancing water supply.
We will try our level best to find a solution together, working with the government. We will not do this alone. We work with government and other stakeholders so that we find a lasting solution to this problem. I must indicate to you that it is very important to have safe, clean water for human consumption as well as livestock, because if our livestock are drinking dirty water, I can assure you we will start losing them. They'll start dying.
The Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA Zambia chapter, has commended government through the Ministry of Information and Media for signing statutory instrument SI number 35 of 2024, which operationalizes the Access to Information ATI law. In a statement, MISA Zambia chairperson Lauren Chisanga says this momentous development marks a significant step towards promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance in Zambia. Ms. Chisanga says with the ATI law now in effect, citizens are empowered to access vital information on matters of public interest, fostering an environment where informed decision-making and civic participation are not only encouraged but also implemented. She says MISA Zambia and its partners has long advocated for the enactment and implementation of an ATI law as a crucial pillar for democracy and sustainable development. Ms. Chisanga states that the operationalization of this law signifies the government's commitment to upholding the fundamental right to information, which is essential for the realization of other human rights and freedoms. In other news trending this evening, The Lusaka City Council LCC has expressed concern over the recent vandalism of one of its fire trucks by some unruly residents of Matero area in Lusaka. Vice President Mutalena Lumango has urged the police command to invest in women officers as criminal investigation officers in cyber fraud and gender-based violence in order to have a society free from such crimes. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Zambia Chamber of Mines has proposed in its 2025 budget proposals that government should have the rate of withholding tax from 20% to 10% on essential foreign exploration consultants and exploration contractors and expedite work permitting. The Chamber feels this is necessary to secure cutting-edge technologies required to expedite exploration and grow reserves while diversifying the geographical spread and minerals basket of battery minerals and gold mining in Zambia. In its submission for budget proposals for the mining sector, the Chamber has also proposed a reduction in withholding tax rate for non-resident investors from 20% to 10% and from 15% to 7.5% for local investors on mining royalties for PGM, rare earths, emeralds, copper, manganese, cobalt, and lithium. The Chamber feels that this is part of improving competitiveness and will avail Zambian explorers and miners more financing options from offshore and institutional investors. Ends business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Now in foreign news, Kenya's President William Ruto says he will withdraw a finance bill containing controversial tax hikes after deadly protests which saw Parliament set ablaze on Tuesday. In an address to the nation, he said it was clear that Kenyans want nothing to do with it. At least 22 people were killed in Tuesday's protests, according to the state-funded Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. Here's a roundup from the BBC for other world news stories.
Within the past few minutes, the Kenyan president has announced the scrapping of a hugely unpopular finance bill that was going to introduce new taxes after huge protests across the country. William Ruto also pledged austerity measures to reduce his own office's expenditure. The decision was made a day after police opened fire on protesters in Nairobi. Doctors say 23 people died. President Ruto said the people had spoken. The WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, has arrived home in Australia after being freed by a US court in a remote Pacific Ocean territory. As he got off the plane in Canberra, he waved to cheering supporters and embraced his wife and his father. The International Criminal Court in The Hague has convicted a former Islamist rebel of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity in Mali. Al-Hassan Mahmoud carried out the atrocities in Timbuktu 12 years ago.
In sports news, West Ham have signed Sheffield United goalkeeper Wes Foderingham on a 2-year contract. Foderingham will officially join the Hammers on 1st July when his contract at Bramall Lane expires. The 33-year-old made 30 appearances for Sheffield United, who were relegated from the Premier League last season. We now have the evening weather report. Stay tuned.
Glass Econ Roof in Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening is partly cloudy and mild. Tuku ends the weather report.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Government observes the need to address the underlying factors that contribute to drug abuse and illicit trade. Mwembeshi Secondary School head teacher and deputy arrested for corrupt practices involving over 20. Kenya's president withdraws tax plan after deadly protests. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. Thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Herbert Mutavi.